And we're now live.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are again present today for the private conference for civil works under invitation to the number 2024-010. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order number 06, series of 2024, which direct us to stream activities like this for accountability and transparency of procurement processes. Before we proceed, we will request the Secretariat to please acknowledge those who are present here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Our attendees for today's activity, private conference for civil works for 2nd District Engineering Office. We have here the back members, starting with our chairperson, Engineer Edwin L. Jacob.
Present.
Vice Chairperson, Engineer Lorna V. Rubin. Present. Regular member, Engineer Leslie T. Dubito. Present. Provisional members, we have Engineer Jeffrey C. Salmon.
Present.
And Engineer Arthur Noel A. Lore.
Present.
From the back secretariat headed by Engineer Edwin T. Pascual Jr.
Present.
Back secretariat member, we have Mr. Ricky Tech. From the back PWG, we have here the members, Engineer Dave Herzel G. Fallen.
Present.
Engineer Orly Anthony A. Terek.
Present.
Engineer Maylando M. Apolinaria.
Present.
And we have representative from Planning and Design Section, Engineer Darrell Anthony Valdez. And we would also like to acknowledge our viewers via YouTube. Good morning and welcome. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Since with the majority of back members present, I hereby declare quorum and all this meeting in order. We have a present agenda, activity, one, presentation explanation, 1A, basic contact data, 1B, requirements of bidding documents, 1C, documents to be submitted by the leaders, C1, technical component of the bid, C2, financial component of the bid, and 1D, criteria procedure for eligibility check. Number 2, questions, comments from bidders and replies of back and other representatives of procuring agency, please, other matters, and or summary proceedings including supplemental bulletins to be issued. Okay, any motion to adopt this agenda?
I will adopt the present agenda. I second.
It has been moved by Engineer Rubin and seconded by Gubito, and with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. Okay. First, in the order of business is the explanation of basic contract data, including contract description, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Darrell Anthony Bantes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For the first project, the construction of multi-purpose building classroom at MONCAST, Poblacion, Monkayo, Davao de Oro, with contract ID number of 24LI0056, location Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of complete two-story, 4-classroom school building with concrete parapet, corridor railings at second floor, steel casement window at rear portion with security grills for the front jalousie windows, fire protection system, overhead tank and cistern, generator set and powerhouse. The approved budget for the contract is 19,799,999 pesos and 44 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP VIP. The contract duration is 210 calendar days, including 35 unworkable days. The size range is small b. The license category C and D, and with cost of bid documents of 25,000 pesos. The second project is the construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Maparat, Compostela, Davao de Oro, with contract ID number of 24LI0057. Location, Davao de Oro. With scope of works, construction of complete barangay hall, 12.75 meters by 14.5 meters, incorporating earthworks, reinforced concrete works, plumbing, tiling, cement plaster finishing, painting, carpentry and joinery works, along with electrical work, lighting fixtures, outlets, and concrete pedestal, signage and logo installation, providing provision of air conditioning for the barangay captain's office and conference hall, and the inclusion of stainless water tank and fire extinguisher. The approved budget for the contract is 6,929,977 pesos and 87 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP with a contract duration of 120 calendar days, including 45 unworkable days. The size range is small b, license category C and D, and the cost of fee documents is 10,000 pesos. The third project, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Bantacan, Bataan, Davao de Oro. The contract ID number is 24LI0058. The location is Davao de Oro. The scope of works, construction of complete barangay hall, 12.75 meters by 14.50 meters, incorporating earthworks, reinforced concrete works, plumbing, tiling, cement plaster finishing, painting, carpentry and joinery works, along with electrical work, lighting fixtures, outlets, and concrete pedestal, signage and logo installation, provision of air conditioning for the barangay captain's office and conference hall, and inclusion of stainless water tank and fire extinguisher. The approved budget for the contract is 6,929,977 pesos and 87 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP with contract duration of 120 calendar days, including 45 unworkable days. The size range is small b, license category C and D, and with cost of fee documents of 10,000 pesos. The fourth project is construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Ngan, Compostela, Davao de Oro, with contract ID number of 24LI0059. The location is Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of complete barangay hall, 12.75 meters by 14.50 meters, incorporating earthworks, reinforced concrete works, plumbing, tiling, cement plaster finishing, painting, carpentry and joinery works, along with electrical work, lighting fixtures, outlets, and concrete pedestal, signage and logo installation, provision of air conditioning for barangay captain's office and conference hall, and the inclusion of stainless water tank and fire extinguisher. The approved budget for the contract is 6,929,967 pesos and 41 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. The contract duration is 120 calendar days, including 45 unworkable days. The size range is small b, license category C and D, and the cost of these documents is 10,000 pesos. For the fifth project, the name of contract is construction of multi-purpose building, Building 1, Barangay Mangayon, Compostela, Davao de Oro. The contract ID number is 24LI0060. The location, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of complete barangay hall, 12.75 meters by 14.50 meters, incorporating earthworks, reinforced concrete works, plumbing, tiling, cement plaster finishing, painting, carpentry and joinery works, along with electrical work, lighting fixtures, outlets, and concrete pedestal, signage and logo installation, provision of air conditioning for the Barangay Captain's Office and Conference Hall, and the inclusion of stainless water tank and fire extinguisher. The approved budget for the contract is 6,929,997 pesos and 93 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP with contract duration of 120 calendar days, including 45 unworkable days. The size range is small b, license category C and D, and with cost of lead documents of 10,000 pesos. For the sixth project, the name of the project is construction of revetment along Aunan Creek Upstream LS leading to Agusan River, Barangay Babag, Monkayo, Davao de Oro, with contract ID number of 24LI0061. The location is Davao de Oro. It is scope for construction of reinforced concrete, revetment with concrete barriers and steel sheet piles for foundation construction, grounded riprap for box protection and end protection works. The approved budget for the contract is 144,749,917 pesos to 56 centavos. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA 002. The contract duration is 357 calendar days, including 99 unworkable days. The size range is medium A, license category B, and with cost of bid documents of 60,000 pesos.
Thank you, Engineer Darren Valdez, for your explanation of the projects to be procured by interested bidders. Next, in order of business is the requirements of building documents, and it should be discussed to us by Engineer Junior.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Especially to our live viewers. To participate in qualifying our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. First, instruction to bidders, the bid data sheet, the general conditions of the contract, the special conditions of the contracts, the bid of quantities, and lastly, the drawing specifications, and number 7, securities other forms that will be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instruction to bidders and general conditions of the contract, because special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and the special conditions of the contract respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilGIFs and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Pascual, for discussing these documents. Next in order of business is the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and this will be discussed to us by Bernie Ligardi.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to everyone. Following documents should be included by the interested bidders in their bids. Number 1, the technical component of the bid, which includes a PhilGIF certificate. If not enrolled in the CWA, pickup license and registration, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, the SLCC, and FCC computation is statement of total assets and liabilities, joint venture agreement with the bond. If you already enrolled in the CWR, eligibility documents to be updated are needs, bid security, project requirements such as the organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' key personnel, list of major equipment owned or leased, and omnibus sworn statement in a prescribed format in accordance with GPPB Resolution 60,020. For the final component, financial component of the bid, this includes the bid form, bid prices and the bid of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, equipment rentals used in the coming up to the bid, and the cash flow reported. Please be reminded that the following documents, omnibus sworn statement, bid form, bid security declaration, if you opted to use this type of bid security, should be in the standard format as per guidelines ng GPPB Resolution 16/2020. And kindly check the format of the documents you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for the using of unprescribed format. This document should be submitted using the blue envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the document on the topmost portion instead of hard binding or soft binding work. Each document should be airtagged appropriately. It should be labeled based on the name of the document submitted, not the number or letter according to the checklist. There should be 3 copies for the documents: the original copy, copy 1, and copy 2. Original copies of the technical component of the bid shall be sealed on one envelope, and original copies of the financial component of the bid shall be then sealed in another envelope. This envelope should be labeled as original copy of the technical component and original copy of the financial component. These labeled envelopes shall be then sealed into one final envelope and labeled it as the original copy of the bid. The same process of the sealings for copies 1 and 2. Lastly, the original copy, copy 1, and copy 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope and labeled it appropriately as instructed in the bidding document. Bidders are urged and encouraged to read Section 21 of Instruction to Bidders, page 14, to fully understand the sealing and markings of the bid. And submit your bid personally here at the office on or before March 21, 2024. DPWH Davao de Oro 2nd District Engineering Office, temporarily located at Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Bantacan, Davao de Oro. And you have the option to submit you have 2 options to submit your bids. You have the electronic bids submission. The preparation of the technical and financial document of your bid are outlined in the Department Order number 87, series of 2020. The sealing and markings of the bids in this is also outlined in the DEO and is reiterated on the bid data sheet. Interested bidders are advised to read this in case your choice is electronic submission. Then submit electronic bids to electronicbids_Davao de Oro 2 at dpwh.gov.ph on or before March 31, 2020, 10 p.m. Please also be reminded that your key personnel should occupy only one position in your organizational chart. Duplication of functions of your key personnel will be a ground for disqualification pursuant to the principle of item number 6 under Department Order number 9, series of 2012. It also may request you to please indicate the tax identification numbers since this will be used for the awarding function. Further, on your bid form and bid of quantities, may we request you to please write bid. And also, if you are offering a discount in your bid, please indicate specifically the methodology as to where or which pay item the discount will come. Absence of methodology, original amount will prevail. The discrepancies between bid prices in the words and figures, words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing, filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, such as in the bid of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. And we may also request you to please check your documents before submitting to our end. Avoid disqualification. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you, Girlie Picardi. Okay. Also prospective bidders. You have a detailed estimates, no? We show the indirect costs. You have a OCM, overhead, contingencies, miscellaneous, contractor's profit, and VAT, because important in the construction, especially you have extra work, no? And the bill of quantities, if I use Tahuma 11, magbid pa, no? Mahirapan yung magbasa. Check. In addition, in addition, we would like to remind the bidders to submit trainings through email prior to the bidding date. However, only one of these trainings will be able to enter our premises during the bidding activity. Okay. Next in order of business is the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, and this will be discussed to us by Engineer Milando Pinanayan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And good noon, everyone. The the criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 23 of the Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have an updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents if applicable. These documents were already discussed a while ago. During the opening of bids, the first envelope, which contains the technical component of the bid, shall be opened. After opening the first envelope, the BAC shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who are ineligible to participate because their eligibility documents are not updated shall undergo manual eligibility check based on the submitted eligibility documents. If found to be eligible and at the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will also be opened. However, the committee will conduct second electronic eligibility check after updating the eligibility records of the bidder through the contractor's profile application or through Procurement Service Central Office. Result of the latest electronic eligibility processing shall prevail over the manual eligibility evaluation. All open financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The VAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the fitness of the bid and arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions specified in the bidding documents pursuant to Section 34 of the Procurement Law. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest single calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid ranked during bid evaluation stage. Also, bidders with ongoing contracts should be reminded that the committee will verify if you have existing delayed contract per Department Order number 127 series of 2018 or strict application RA 9184 in the conduct post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. If you have incurred negative slippage as defined in the said DEO or currently being imposed with liquidated damages, you should settle these findings before the period of post-qualification ends to avoid post-disqualification of your firm. Also, all requirements set forth in the bidding documents and the instructions relayed during this conference should be addressed and be well taken care of to avoid disqualification or post-disqualification. And as for equipment verification, the BAC with the assistance of The equipment verification team will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DO number 127 series of 2018. As part of the post-qualification, the equipment verification team will conduct an inspection the verification of the equipment reached by the bidder, including other documents to be evaluated. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Culinaria, for that discussion. Now we are through with Agenda 1, and we proceed to Agenda 2. Questions, comments from leaders, and replies of BAC and the other representative of the parent entity. Okay. There is questions.
So far, sir, none.
There is none. We will proceed to read other matters. Restrike policy against violation of section 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 91 and this is discussed to us by Engineer Laws.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good noon, everyone. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing expenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure goods and consulting services project through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways hereby introduced an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed at forcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits three offenses, acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses acts are further classified into three major categories as enumerated below. So the classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. Number one, withdrawal from the bidding process, mission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee recognizes certain valid reasons for this. If upon computation prior to bid submission, the bidder determines that the proposed bid price will exceed the ABC, to substantiate this, the bidder must provide evidence. Acceptable proof includes but not limited to a detailed budget estimation or a market price report. Number two, submission of late bids without valid reasons, as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances, such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. Number three, submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A, during eligibility screening and or shortlisting. Submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilGEM registration Latino membership, or a certificate of PhilGEM certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents, as determined during the eligibility screening. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum maintained in the application for eligibility. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provisions of required forms.
Submission of an unnotarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus source statement, and joint venture agreement, or statement from all the potential joint venturing partners with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restriction declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity or of the bidder. Submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel, profession different from what is required by the bidding document. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement or pledge equipment. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding document. During post-qualification, participation in bidding for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs as indicated on the PCAM license does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure project being bid in terms of category, classifications, and size ranges. Enforcement of penalties. If a bidder commits any of the three major offenses acts listed above three times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike one, first warning, which is counted as day one, through day 365, and if these three offenses are of a similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty. Suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of three similar offenses or more than two sets of three similar offenses, instances or more than six similar offenses occur within the said 1 year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty is either 1 or 2 years applicable will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. That's all, Mr. Chair. Okay, thank you, Engineer Lor. So, prospective bidders, no? Be careful, understand, and comply to avoid the prescribed policy. Okay. Next is a summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid routines to be issued, and this will be discussed to us by Engineer Godito.
Yes, good night, everyone. All the needed information were discussed and explained by the resource persons. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH Intelligence websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereafter. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids on or before March 21, 2024, 10 o'clock p.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening will be on March 21, 2024, 10:15 p.m. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Benito. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. Okay. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
Second.
Has been moved by Engineer Samo and seconded by Engineer Rubin. And with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and good noon.